exciting, and very valuable.
Freda.
Take a deep
Okay.
breath. Exciting and very valuable.
There we go. All right, we are ready to rock. It is all yours. I'll make you co-host right now, and I'll just keep admitting. Okay. There you go.
All right. So before we get kicked off, one thing I want to hear is how many pounds has everyone lost? I'm 13, going for 20. Anybody
I'm
else?
3. Well, I don't know how many pounds I've lost, you guys, but I wore for the first time some jeans that I had. I have 2 pairs of the same ones. One are size 27 and one are 24. My 27s were not fitting. My 24s fit. I'm not weighing myself, so I don't know what it is, but it's working.
Anybody else?
I'm 3.
Awesome. Anyone else?
Lost 4.
Perfect. Man, this
I'm down 5 in 5 days.
Whoa, wonderful.
I'm still 8 pounds, no hot flashes, which is wonderful.
Ooh.
And I got into my size 6 jeans yesterday.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That's fantastic. Anybody else?
17.
Well, I have a new.
Do we have
17,
somebody? Good Lord, guys, if we had all this up, we're going to move 100 pounds. We've lost a person.
8 pounds.
This is amazing. So, guys, we're going to get started because what I want to talk about this morning is something that we've all been through or are going through. First of all, I want to say that your comfort zone definitely is not your calling. And when I first started my first business, I had the fear of everything, you know, because I had a lot of money on the line. So I'm fearing, what if I lose? I'm fearing, like, what if this doesn't work? I'm fearing, what if I don't this? And what if I don't that? Well, I had to get outside of all that. And so what I want to share with you is something that really separates average from extraordinary. And your comfort zone feels safe. And that's why it's familiar and it feels predictable. But let me tell you something. Nothing grows there. Nothing. The life you want, the income you want, the impact you want, or the leadership that you so desire. It does not live in your comfort zone. It's just outside of it. And I know that growth feels awkward because it did to me too. Leadership feels uncomfortable, and success feels like you're just stretching and stretching. But that's okay. It's really okay. Because leaders are not people who are fearless. Leaders are people who move forward while feeling fear. Does everybody get that? We move forward even when we are in fear. Gary, have you ever had a time in your life when you started something or did something and you had a fear?
Absolutely. I mean, I can go back to when I guess I was 25, deciding whether I wanted to go in business for myself or if I wanted to keep working like I was working now. So I just had to, I didn't have tools. I didn't have all the stuff I needed. I had any money for sure. I was making $4 an hour while I was working. So I had to take that step out and, could I build a house? Could I do this? Could I do that? Did I know everything? No. But I took that step and it worked fine. I just worked through it. And people would ask me, can you do this? Yes. The answer was always yes. I never said no, I couldn't do something. So, and it went on. And even in this business, stepping out, making those phone calls. I remember, I can remember I struggled with that. It was like I'd pick up the phone and dial the phone and I'd say, don't answer, don't answer, don't answer. And then, they didn't answer. I'm good. But that didn't get me anywhere. So you just have to do the action. I found that if there's something you don't like to do or you're scared to do, you just need to step out on faith and do it. Once you do it, it becomes much easier. The second time you do it, it becomes easier. So just step out on that on that faith, and action cures the fear. I mean, that takes that away. And another thing I've found too is how you talk to yourself and you program yourself. If you say, I can do it, you can do it. If you say, this is going to be difficult, well, you're just putting restraints on that. And maybe you need to say, I need to focus on this or something like that. So that's very important too, as far as conquering fear. And that's how I get over it.
So guys, what we're going to do this morning is something kind of out of the ordinary. So how do you get people out of their comfort zone and turn them into leaders? I always say you push them off the cliff. You give them time, you give them space. But then sometimes you have to give them that little extra nudge. So we're going to share with you 3 people this morning who have never done this before. I can tell you right now, they've got knots in their stomach. Their hearts are racing because they've never done this before. And I know it's one of them's dream to do it. But guys, again, let's go. Patty, step out of your comfort zone and unmute.
All righty then. Thank you for this opportunity. I am going to speak for a few minutes on the importance of gratitude. I believe that everybody on this call is probably a very thankful person. There's really only one reason that we are on this call, and it's not a business reason. We are on this call today because the good Lord woke us up this morning. If it hadn't been for that, we wouldn't have had the choice to jump on a business call. So my topic, how to become grateful, is something that probably we already know, but maybe some of us aren't putting it into practice. So we're going to have a quick review. Being grateful multiplies our joy. It keeps us from thinking of our problems. It gives us opportunities to reach out. And it also, I am very nervous, y'all. And it gives us the reason for moving forward. Gratitude produces endorphins. And endorphins are very important because here's a word we've come to know and love. It produces peptides. And these peptides work in our brain to act as neurotransmitters to relieve stress, improve mood, relieve pain, alleviate discomfort, and enhance overall well-being. So 3 cheers for the peptides. Not only that, but being grateful helps us, it's highly contagious. And, in a community like ours, you can't help but being grateful when you're surrounded by so many people practicing gratitude and so many people excited. And one of the most important things that gratitude will do is it helps us to create abundance thinking. It gives us the opportunity to move past our fears. Being discontented keeps us self-centered. It produces a victim mentality. It actually robs us of our blessings because being discontent is going to keep us in an attitude of comparing, complaining, and fault finding. So in that attitude, there's no way we can receive the blessings that are meant for us. So, the best way to remain in a thankful attitude or to grow a thankful attitude is to remember this simple biological process. We all have a mouth, and whatever we say, our ears are going to pick it up. The ears are going to take it to the brain is going to process it, and we have a belief. And then if we keep repeating that over and over again, we're going to be discontent. But thankfully, words are not only containers for negative, they're also containers for positive. So that same mouth, those same ears, that same brain can create positive thoughts, positive beliefs, and suddenly we are open to all the possibilities that God has for us. Now, One of the most important things I learned, I have to give a shout out to Jessica Mardera because I roomed with her at a leadership conference. And she taught me through her actions and her words the power of keeping a gratitude journal. That has made so much difference in my life. Every morning when I wake up, I thank you, Lord, for waking me up today. Thank you for the opportunities coming my way. And I write in my journal the things that I'm thankful for, from the simplest to perhaps the more in depth. But I write in that journal every day, and that's made a huge impression. You know, in this community, we have so much to be thankful for. We have a wonderful opportunity. We have a supportive community. Some of my best friends I've made since joining 3. We have leaders who are willing to step out and teach us everything they know so that we can grow. We have a CEO who genuinely cares about us. We have a biochemist who really knows his molecules and is dedicated to producing for us, hands down, the best products on the market. So while we're working our business, we have opportunities to be thankful. On a good day, when we talk to a lot of people and we get them on Zooms and they all sign up, hallelujah, great thing. When we talk to a lot of people and some of them sign up and some of them get on Zooms, hallelujah, that's a great day. And then when we have those days when we talk to a lot of people and they don't respond and they don't sign up, it may not be the way we had the day planned out, but you know what? We still have a hallelujah moment because looking at our list that didn't pan out, now we've got hallelujah. Look at this awesome, awesome list of follow-ups. So that being said, keeping a thankful spirit will keep us moving forward. And there's always something to be thankful for when you're moving forward. Okay, that's me.
Wait, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Were you nervous when you started this?
Yes. When I started, yes.
Were you fearful when you started this?
Maybe not a paralyzing fear, but yes, I was nervous. I was nervous.
And you stepped outside of your comfort zone.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were fantastic. Okay, the next person we're going to go
Thank
to
you.
is a surprise for Adrian. Caroline. I know you. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, everyone. I want to start with a simple question. Have you ever met someone, had a great conversation, felt like something really good could come from it, and nothing happened? Crickets. No follow-up, no second conversation. You both just moved on. I think we've all experienced this. And Jim Rohn once said, fortune is in the follow-up. The longer I've been in business and in life, the more I realize how true that is. The first conversation doesn't create the opportunity. It just opens the door. The follow-up is what builds the relationship and creates trust and often leads to the real result. Here's a story from my own life that just happened a few months ago. I have a friend, Claudia, who owns a high-end clothing store here in Los Gatos. Women will spend $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 in one shot on clothing. She understands quality, value, and relationships. A while back in November, Claudia was taking Manjaro, and I didn't know anything about what happened to her on Manjaro, but she offered me some, and I trusted her. And then later, it turns out that she was very ill on Manjaro, and her husband too. So when we had the convention back in Dallas, I reached out to her and mentioned that we had something new. Well, she was in Brazil because she's from Brazil. And she said, can you reach out to me back in 10 days? And so I did. And so when I reached out back to her, you got to keep in mind, this conversation just didn't happen. She was in there for Brazil. It took 4 to maybe 5 times for me to stop into her store, check up on her, and just keep on making a conversation. So So I gave her no pressure. I wasn't pushing, just caring consistently and timing. Because sometimes people saying no doesn't mean they're ready yet. Well, the story is still unfolding and it just came through tuition yesterday. I got into her store and she ordered from me the big pack of the products of GLP-3, and she wants to build. So, fortune is in the follow-up, but here's what I know. If I only had talked to her once and never followed up, this meeting would have never existed. Nothing would be happening. The lesson is simple. Sometimes the fortune isn't the immediate outcome. Sometimes it's the next conversation, the open door, the opportunity starting to form. That all lives in the follow-up. Follow-up goes way beyond business. It's about people. I remembered you. You mattered to me. This conversation was important enough to come back to. In a world where everyone is busy, the act alone sets you apart. Most people don't do that. They have good intentions, but life gets busy and it disappears. The people who see results, whether in business, relationships, or life, are usually the ones willing to follow up more times than everyone else does. Follow-up does three things. First, it shows belief that I believe this matters. Second, it builds trust. Trust grows by showing up consistently over time. Hold on. Third, it creates space for results. Results rarely happen in the first conversation. They happen afterwards. That's where the fortune is. So today, or this morning, I want to leave you with something simple. Think of one person you've been meaning to call, text, or check in with. Just do it. One message, one quick call, one more touch. Silent doesn't always mean no. Sometimes it just means not yet. One thoughtful follow-up can completely change what happens next. So don't give up after the first conversation, you guys. Don't assume the door is closed. Don't underestimate the power of the follow-up. Whether it's business, relationships, or in life, fortune really is the follow-up. Thank you.
There's another person that just stepped outside of their comfort zone.
Whew.
Did you have butterflies in your stomach, Caroline?
Yes, I still do.
So see, that's okay, guys. It's okay to feel that way. And one more person stepping outside of their comfort zone. Let's go. Greg.
Well, first, thank you very much. Freda knows I shared this. I had written this down on my on my dream board back in December that one of my goals for 26 was to share a lesson on legacy. So I'm much appreciated of the opportunity on that. So today I'm going to be talking about purpose. I studied Buddhism for a while with a Buddhist monk that was 13th in line to a Dalai Lama that took me in as his son. And this is kind of what he taught me. So in Buddhism, desire can cause suffering, but there is a different kind of hunger, a hunger for awakening, a hunger for wisdom, a hunger to reduce suffering in ourselves and in others. But the Buddha taught that life includes suffering, dukkha, but he also taught there is a path beyond it. The path begins with awareness. You must be hungry to awaken, as Les Brown says. So discover your purpose. Each of us has a role, a dharma, a way we serve the world. Purpose is not about ego. It's about contribution. And we turn inward, mindfulness. We begin to see our attachments, our fears, our gifts, our compassion. As we quiet the noise of life, we reconnect with our true nature. Our true nature is not greed, not fear, not comparison. Our true nature is awareness and compassion. And part of that is health as a sacred responsibility. The body is the vehicle for our practice, our temple. If the body is neglected, the mind becomes clouded. Buddhism teaches the middle way, balance, not indulgence, not neglect. If you want to walk your path with clarity, care for your body, care for your mind, guard your energy. A healthy body supports a steady mind. A steady mind reveals our purpose. So step beyond the ego. the comfort of ego. Most people follow habit, follow the herd, follow a craving. An awakening requires stepping beyond our comfort. The Eightfold Path calls us to review, right intention, right action, right effort. Growth happens when we move beyond attachment. So ask yourself, am I living intentionally? Am I acting for compassion? Am I contributing to less suffering? Your purpose is found where your compassion meets action. Mastering the mind. Buddha taught the mind is everything. What you think, you become. If your mind is distracted, your life will be distracted. If your mind is disciplined, your life becomes aligned. This is a warrior inside you, not one who fights others, but one who overcomes anger, fear, and ego. Buddhism taught that ego is edging God out. If your ego is present, then God, higher spirits are not. Meditation builds resilience. Mindfulness builds awareness. Awareness builds freedom. You cannot control everything in life, but you can train your mind. Decisions and karma. Every decision plants a seed. In Buddhism, this is karma. Your actions shape your future. Your habits shape your destiny. When you choose compassion, we plant seeds of peace. We choose discipline. We plant seeds of growth. Do not let distractions become your destiny, or as Les Brown says, do not let your distractions become your destruction. Be intentional. Be conscious. Be awake. Your legacy and impermanence. Buddhism teaches impermanence. Everything changes. Nothing lasts forever. There's never no conclusion. So ask yourself, if life is temporary, how will you use it? What kindness will you leave behind? What wisdom will you share? What suffering will you help reduce? You are here not merely to consume, you are here to awaken and serve. A purpose of life of compassion in motion. So in closing, this is going to be something that we're going to be working with together here. So be hungry for wisdom, hungry for peace, hungry for discipline, hungry for awakening. Walk the middle way. Guard your mind. Serve with compassion. Act with awareness, not just exist. So take a moment and relax. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. You are now standing by your deathbed. And there, in the room with you, are the ghosts of your dreams, your ideas, your ability, your leadership, your stories, your talent. They are looking at you with large, angry eyes, and they say, "We came to you. Only you could have given us life. Only you could have brought us into the world, and now we will die with you forever." Buddhism teaches impermanence. Everything passes. The question is whether or not life ends. The question is, what will you awaken before it does? If you were to die today, what talent would die with you? What ability? What story? What leadership? What compassion never expressed? What service never given? In order for these ideas and skills not to die, what will you do? In order for this to change, our purpose must become something it has never been before. Not casual, not comfortable, not convenient. It must be conscious. It must be disciplined. It must be awakened. Because when you awaken to your Dharma, your purpose, you do not just live, you liberate potential. And in doing so, you reduce suffering, increase compassion. You leave no ghosts behind. So will you fulfill your purpose? Thank
Wow.
you.
Awesome. Guys, I have to tell you that I did not even begin to ask these people what they were going to talk about, because what I wanted to do was to help them to step outside of their comfort zone and be the leaders that's really inside of them. So how do you create your leaders? How do you reach out? How do you help people? You cast a vision that is bigger than their fear. And this is a fear that most people have, speaking to people, approaching people, calling people, talking to people. You know, you've got to believe in them before they can ever believe in themselves. And you know what? You stretch them, you stretch them, you stretch them with small baby steps, because that normalizes their fear. Because nervousness, it's normal. Doubt, it's normal. You know what? You can't force it. You cannot force it. You've got to inspire them. You've got to stretch them. You got to believe in them. You've got to expect more, and you got to love them through their growth. And I want to thank all of you who spoke today. You were fantastic. Carolyn, I see your tears. Bless you, girl. You guys are amazing, and the power is within you. Step out. Adrian, so are you. You're muted.
Wow. Sorry, I'm emotional too. I mean, I just don't believe in accidents, and I think there's a reason that we all had this call today. I don't know why I'm crying, but I just am. I'm just so proud of every single one of you.
Let me take over while she gets herself together.
Okay, thanks.
There comes a time in everyone's life when your dream and your desire and your vision is going to give you a gut punch. And you're going to say to yourself, why didn't I do this? What was I waiting for? What was I waiting for? I don't want to go over in time, but I could only take a moment to say this. Every leader has walked in fear. I have watched leaders walk off of the stage at different events, at different conventions or events, shaking in their shoes. I've seen them walk off and cry because they didn't feel like they did a good job. They wanted to do more. They wanted to do better. So, folks, please, reach down deep inside yourself and lock arms with somebody that believes in you until you can believe in yourself. I watch Gary. He is a very quiet person. He's my equalizer. I'm out there. I'm all over the place. But he's my equalizer. I have watched him sit at his desk and say, don't answer, don't answer, don't answer. I'm laughing. Honestly, guys, it happens. You have that fear. You know how he overcome it? He did it again and again and again and again. And now he calls people like no tomorrow. So, guys, all I can say is this again. Just love them through their growth. It's all you, Adrian. You got your
All
stuff.
right. Thank you so much, Freda. You guys, this was such a beautiful call today. Obviously, it really struck a chord with me, and it really hit me emotionally because it reminded me of why I do what I do and why I've been saying yes to this business for 17 years. It's the personal growth that not only I've had in this business, but watching every single person who says yes and does decide to get out of their comfort zone also have that same personal growth. I love my hat. Thank you, Shannon and Eric. Looking for leaders. I feel like I found them. You're it. You guys are the leaders. Every single day I wake up with gratitude for being a part of your lives and watching the development happen, not just in the company. I know we talk a lot about money and growth here as well, but it's an exciting time to be a part of 3 for sure, without a doubt, because we do actually offer life-changing products. But more importantly, it is about you. It is about you feeling like you're creating that legacy, that you have the opportunity to do so. There's a lot of places you could be right now. You could be at a 9-to-5 job. You could be working. I mean, you guys, there's a lot of places you could be, and you're here right now learning, and we're working together. And it's just, I'm so grateful. Yeah, I just want to say that I feel like we are one big community, one big team here. It doesn't matter if you're up line, down line, cross line, sideline. We are just here to help grow people. Right. And yesterday I said something that I know some of us have heard in this industry before, but you reminded me of that today too. Every single one who shared is that we absolutely are hope brokers. We are brokers of hope. Your job is to go in and it's to help people to see a bigger opportunity for growth in their life. You know, they don't have, most people, you guys, not once in their lifetime would they get an opportunity where they could start a business for $5,000 or less and have the potential to earn up to 21,000 per week. They don't have that opportunity. They work 40, 60 hours a week for somebody else's dream. Do you understand that? I mean, that's really what you're replacing. And it does take a lot of belief. It does take a lot of guts, right? There is a lot of glory in having some guts, my friends. And that's really what, you know, Freda is talking about, getting out of your comfort zone. You know, it's not comfortable to be in your comfort zone. It's one of those places where it'll probably kill you before before you actually feel comfortable. So be aggressive in a way that lets people know that you care. Be aggressive in a way that lets people know that you've got an opportunity for them that's bigger than what they may have seen before. If you lead in with that, you're absolutely going to change the world. Isn't it interesting that a lot of you guys will be out there talking and sharing, and people want what you have more than you realize. And the one thing that we're not doing is helping them see a path for that, helping them fit this business in their calendar, helping them be able to carve out an hour a day to connect with other people so that they could change their life. That's what leaders do. That is how you develop growth in your organization. Like Freda said, I've seen Freda and Gary work tirelessly and diligently with their team to help them rank advance, to help them see the potential, the opportunity. You're not going to find a couple that's more in your corner. You're just not. And I just wanted to say, Gary, Freda, I'm so grateful for your guys' leadership. Thank you for hosting this incredible call today. Thank you for being you. Thank you for always consistently showing up and, you know, complete authenticity and acceptance of others at all places in their life. You guys have certainly been through a lot. You've shown me kindness and gratitude where, you know, maybe you didn't have to, right? And I'm grateful for you guys. So you guys, thank you so much for this beautiful call today. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share before we head out? I know it's 10 o'clock, so we're at the top of the hour.
I just want to say thank you for giving us this platform here and everything. You know, we all have such a purpose, and I know I've got a lot more to go. And just grateful.
Yeah, and I actually have to say thank you again to all of you guys. Me, Craig, and Patty were nervous. We did it, and thank you, Craig, for being there for me, and Adrian, for George, everybody.
And I want to say the same. You know, it's such an opportunity to get to speak, and it's a great opportunity to get to learn under the leaders that we have. And there's always something new that I learn every time I'm on a training call. So I am forever grateful. Truly, truly forever grateful. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right, you guys. Oh, go ahead, Freda.
I'm sorry. I just want to say that we're just so thankful and grateful for each and every one of you, and for Adrian and George as well, for number one, reaching down and picking us up and taking us as part of their team. And we love you guys. So everybody go out today and have somebody else step out of their comfort zone, because let me tell you something, if they've got a job, they're not comfortable. Go help them out. All right, guys, have a great day.
And happy Valentine's.
Bye. Happy
George
Valentine's.
George has got his hand up.
Oh, yeah, I just want to say, well, happy Valentine. You can see it behind me. And something so important, many of the things that you said, because inspiration come from the inside. We have to remember that all of us have gone through all kinds of situations, good, bad, or whatever. But a situation is just that. It's a situation that get us to learn to the next step. And that's why I love the call that you had today, because tell us so many things about who we are for real, because everybody at one point has been or betrayed or stabbed in the back or block an opportunity or kick out of the whatever place you are. Everybody has those problems in the past, or a business that crashed. But the fact is so important that we keep because if we know that what we are, who we are, if we know that all of us together, we know that eventually the good is going to happen. Especially if we have that belief that the good is going to happen, because in general, people really are good. Everybody is good inside. It's just that sometimes I don't know why the decision that some people make are not the right one, but I'm glad we have the call today. It's funny because it came together with a message that a friend of mine sent me that's so similar to what Craig was saying. As a matter of fact, I have the message here. He sent me a video message, and it's so similar. I'm thinking, holy cow! It's like I got the message about an hour ago, and I was looking at here because I open up again, and I said, wow. I needed to listen to that message, and that message I know many people needed to listen, and it's so important why these things are recorded. And by the way, and again, have a happy Valentine's Day. I know many of you are going to enjoy it. Okay, I don't want to say anything else, but okay. Thank you very much. Have an amazing day.
All right. Thank you, everyone. All right. We'll see you later.